Hi viewers, welcome to the Q&A session of EdStation. My name is Krishna Kopachi. Today we're going to see some answers to specific questions raised by students. First of all, thank you all for raising a multiple set of questions, and we have put our expert team to work on those for very specific answers to your questions. As you know, that's a belief that we have that your learning has to be quite personalized. One of the questions that caught my attention, specifically which I'm presenting today, is from Shreyansh, Pooja, and Rahul. They are from non-mathematics background. So one of them has done their BPC in intermediate, and the other two have done commerce in their 10 plus 2 CBSE. Their question is, how can they face the quantitative aptitude in competitive examinations, because they are mentally fearing math as a point, and hence probably they're a little bit concerned about how do they crack or how do they compete with the technical students like people from BTech and others. Recently, of course, in the news you would have seen that two friends from IIT have actually got 100 percentile in the recent CAT scores. That shows that technical students are pretty strong and analytical in approach. However, this is a myth that non-math students can't really compete at that level in competitive examinations. It's most of a mindset. If you really ask me, it's a mindset, because the kind of questions that are asked, even at a high level competitive exam like CAT, the foundations of that quantitative are pretty fundamental. So it could be the same with any other exam. You write Maharashtra set, you write your ISET, you write any other MBA entrance examination, or you write government exams, bank exams. The range, is always the same, that quantitative is one of the tricky areas for students. But let me just give you a insight of how you should probably start looking at the question. Rather than considering it as math, you have to consider that question more from perspective of a logic, reason. That probably changes the way you can approach a question. So to give one example, I have a question here for you. Let's understand and see how it works. The question goes like this. 5 years ago, K's age is 1/3 of R's age. The ratio of their present ages is 4:7. What is R's age 2 years from now? And there are 4 choices given. Choice A 9, choice B 10, choice C 16, and choice D is 22. Now, the question, the moment you look at this question, it sounds pretty quantitative in nature, and you start using X. We have been always taught in a schooling of how to solve a math question, right? You write an equation and work it out. So you take X. So the traditional approach of this question could be you take X to be one of the the ratio component, and present ages can be considered as 4x and 7x of Krishna and K and R. Now, 5 years ago, that means 4x minus 5 is equal to 1/3 of 7x minus 5. This is the equation that you frame, and eventually you try to work out what is x, and then find out what is the ratio of both of them, and from there you find out what is the answer of 2 years from now of R's age. That is traditional method, and most of the people, particularly in this case like Pooja, Rahul, and Shreyash, who have asked this question, might actually, the moment they look at this question, they might feel little put off in terms of how do I approach this question. Now look, it's a competitive exam. It's not a question where they are just trying to test your ability of solving the equation, but your ability of approaching something. Now, if somebody asks age, what is your age? You don't tell it in decimals, right? You would say that you are 21, 22 or 23, and not 21.5 or 21.3. So that means whenever the question is of an age, logically you talk about completed years, isn't it? So look at this in this question. If I look at that logic, the age ratio currently is given to be 4:7. That means their ages currently has to be some multiples of that combination, 4 and 7. One point that one needs to remember is the question is futuristic. 2 years from now, what is the age of R. If I have to look at, because the ratio is given of present ages to me, if I have to look at it, I just have to subtract the 2 from the age to find out what is it. So first choice is, let's say 9. 9 minus 2, 7. Now in the ratio of 4 is to 7, we just said that the ratio has to be a multiple of the same combination, 4 is to 7. That means it should be 7 into 1 or 7 into 2 or 7 into 3 and so on, that same multiple. 9 minus 2 is 7. So is it a multiple of 7? Yes, it is a multiple of 7. That could be one of my choices that is there. Now if I look at it, then if I choose this to be the answer choice, then the current ages can be are in the ratio of 4 and 7. So 4 and 7 are the present ages. But K's age 5 years from now will be 4 minus 5 minus 1. So it's absurd to have a negative age. That's not the right answer, obviously. So let's move on to the next one, 10. So 10 minus 2, 8. Is 8 a multiple of 7? No, it is not a proper multiple of 7. Hence, that cannot be the right answer. What about the third one, 16? 16 minus 2, 14. 14 is a multiple of 7, 7 into 2. So the ages are in the ratio of 4 is to 7. So K's age is 8 and R's age is 14. And 5 years from now, 8 minus 5, 3. And 14 minus 5, 9. 3 and 9. Are the ratio of 1 is to 3, that is 3 1/3 of 9? Yes, I don't have to solve this question. By looking at it, I'll be able to say that yes, it is 1/3. And look at the last choice, 22 minus 2, 20. 20 is not a multiple of 7. So a question actually can be worked out most of the times orally. It need not be put across on paper. Now this is exactly what a logic needs to be understood. Now this is not a math anymore. We are not solving the question anymore. We are just trying to understand how to approach a question. Now this is very, very important, particularly for students who feel math is a very, very dangerous subject for them. Sometimes when I talk in a class and the moment I say quantitative aptitude, people just go crazy and say that, sir, this is extremely difficult. Now when you tell this logic to them, and then suddenly their eyes pop out and say that, was this so easy a question? Now, that's what is important, the approach towards a quantitative question. For those of you who are kind of looking forward to being associated with us, we do bring out from time to time certain master classes. Master classes on quantitative ability, master classes on reasoning abilities, specific topics in reasoning like syllogism, specific topic in critical reasoning like statements and assumptions and so on, as master classes. So we have a series of master classes in EdStation. So keep watching this space so that you are caught up with all the master classes. In addition, we will also keep giving you tips like this by way of addressing your specific questions. So my answer to Pooja, Rahul and Shreyansh is that, look, the moment you feel that quant or math is a very, very difficult topic, then of course the stress levels in your competitive exam preparation goes off that it's very difficult for you to handle. So try to understand it this way. It is not math, it is after all logic. And many a times all these logics we have already been learned from our school days. No, it's very, very important for us to change this mindset, because unless the mindset changes, your approach towards exam will not change. So please start working out on the mindset first, than the question bank, than the type of questions that are to be attempted. Your mindset is the most important element to change. So please remove the fear of math from your mind. It is not math that is asked in the examination, it is logic that is asked in the examination. So keep this focus. Of course, practice makes a person perfect. So keep practicing questions and keep raising any specific question that you have. I know I just put across one question here. There could be very specific question like this from any of the places that you have got this reference from. Please feel free to ask us, and we will be able to give you the most appropriate or the most easiest way of looking at it. Now, these are not shortcuts by default. These are more of how do we work towards identifying the question. So with this, I wind up this video. Thanks to the question that has been raised. For the other questions, we are working out on the videos and will shortly post it on. Please do subscribe to our video and put in your comments so that we will also know what needs to be further improved on or what specifications that you are requiring, so that we can always work on improving things. It's a learning, just like how we say that it's personal learning for you, it's learning even for us. We are continuous learning on this aspect. So thank you guys for watching this video.